So today I'm going to draw a monster. This is a video which will be a redraw of an old concept I did back in 2009. I won't exactly draw it the same, but I'll link to the video. I think I did it in a few parts, but I'm sure I did a compilation video where I showed you the monster anyway. So I'm not going to draw it exactly the same. I'm going to try and do my own little thing with it. So with these redraws you can pretty much go your own way, I suppose, and just try and do it a different way, approach it differently, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm just drawing the eyes. And I'll be drawing stuff around it. I'm trying to find the concept. So it's like a serpent type thing like I originally drew, but I don't want to draw the whole thing. I just want to draw like a snapshot, an illustration of it, you know, where you'd have to draw the full thing if you don't want to. So I can draw, you know, large chunky fingers, and then we can thin them down like we're doing now. So you see with this hand, I've got the thumb, I can thin that out. We do the same with the fingers. And there's like tentacles and stuff coming off this creature. Start to flesh out the head as well. Doesn't have to stay like that. So we've got our initial design there. It's a lot better illustration than I did in a few years ago. So it was about nearly 7 years ago. So in a minute we can start to ink this. And when I ink it, I can add more detail and straighten things out a bit more. But first I just need to determine a few important bits of shading just to add some depth to it. Bit of shading in the mouth there. So it's ready to ink anyway. So I'm using this Pigma Micron brush pen. Sorry about the quiet there, I was getting too carried away with the inking of this. So These are real good for fan lines. I just use them for outlines and just mixing it up in between with some, thick areas of black, which is usually always good just to mix it up with different ink pens and stuff like that. Maybe there's some more heavily dark areas under here. We'll try and work on them a bit later. For now I'm going to try and get the full outline inked. These hands and claws, and just try and finish the outline really, and then we can use different ink pens. I've got some other Pigma Micron pens which are finer lines. You can just work them out. So underneath there's going to be lots of shadow there, so we can fill most of that in if we want. I'll try and do this rest of this hand. I can get that other ink pen now. Pigma Micron 08. Get these tentacle things. Yeah, can add other elements to it as we go along. Maybe just add another tentacle, just to try and balance it out slightly. And work on these teeth. So there's all the videos that I've done in the past. I don't really like most of the older videos that I've done because I know that I've improved with drawing. Still a bit to learn, but Those older ones, I didn't really have a good camera at the time, and I felt like I had to be rushed more with the videos. And now I know I can time lapse it if I want to, or add bits and do bits off camera and stuff like that. But yeah, I wasn't happy with most of my videos early on YouTube, but like I said, my drawing's slightly improved, from what it used to be. Sometimes I can have them off days where I can't really draw some things, or I'm finding it hard to get ideas down on paper, but for the most part my drawings seem a bit more like of my style. Inking here and there. So we're getting there. There's still a lot more detail to do, but we'll get there. So really this is just an exercise in sort of like redrawing what I've done before, approaching it differently, and that's quite a good tip really. Even drawings that you weren't happy with before, say like years ago or something, it's always worth keeping, so you can like look back on them and maybe redraw them at some point as well. Always useful. This monster drawing needs a lot more work, but probably won't get to colour this, but still fun to draw nonetheless. So what I'll do is I'll fill in a lot of the dark areas, separate a lot of this, add loads more detail, and I'll come back to it and I'll show you what I've done. So I've pretty much been darkening it all, the drawing with the pen, well, the brush tip pen, trying to do thick and thin lines and create a nice texture on this monster creature. And that's why I think these brush pens are really good for this sort of effect. So I'll be using them more often in my illustrations. Sometimes you don't know when to stop when you're illustrating these drawings, but I'll have to stop somewhere, I suppose. So I'm going to end it there and maybe just show you close up what it looks like. So there we go, up close. I could just do some more texturizing and things like that, and just you know, tweak the illustration a bit, and I probably will do, but for the purposes of this video I think I've finished for now. But you may see this illustration more detailed later on, maybe in the vlogs. I'll show you it and any progress I make on any other drawings as well. But it's nice to try and draw old ideas and try and jazz them up a bit, especially when your art style's slightly improved, and that's what I've done here. As with most of my illustrations, I do like just to draw a part of a creature or something and have it in like a situation or like a pose or something where it's not the full creature, it's sort of like off center, and then I can include the background, maybe think about the background as well later on in an illustration. But then Pigma brush pens are really good. You can see all the detail, and if I go on with it, which I will do, you'll see lots more fine detail as well. But for now, that is me drawing a monster. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now.